while my husband was on top of me. He wasn't angry at me, though. I don't think he cared. Okay, great. I know all I write about these days is sex with my husband and conversations with his wife. The Kim family would be proud, I guess, but those two things are, what's really worthwhile in my life. Oh, great. I have other responsibilities, of course. They're just not that interesting, and that's about it. Anyway, the Queen has continued to be nice to me. She finally figured it out. We were having tea together one afternoon. She was talking about nothing in particular, and she asked me some questions that I just shrugged to. I hope you do not take this the wrong way, she then said, but there is something I would like to ask you. I nodded. I don't think I'll have ever heard your voice before. I nodded again. Why don't you ever speak to me? Are you just saving that for the Emperor? I didn't know how to respond. She was so close to getting it, to bringing up the subject, I wasn't able to. Yet that wasn't the right question. So I shook my head and hoped that our next question would be, it was. Then, Heyune, she said uncertainly, are you mute? I felt like screaming, yes, at the top of my lungs. I was so happy that she'd finally figured it out. I smiled and was about to nod enthusiastically, but suddenly I stopped. That if she thought less of me if I said yes, if she knew that there was the reason I was so quiet and demure wasn't because of any sort of discipline. Those were the things people liked about me. Would she stop liking me if she knew? What if she told my husband? Oh my. I was so terrified I couldn't think of any correct answer. If I said no, I'm sure she would have asked to hear what my voice sounded like, and I'd be forced to disobey. And if I nodded, then she'd know that I wasn't just really trying hard to make a good wife. And I'm sure she would talk to my husband about it, so he'd know too. But while I stared at her in terror, thinking of how to respond, she sighed and sipped her tea. Don't worry about it, she said. You do not have to answer. Please do forget that I ever even asked. Oh my. You know, nobody ever noticed that until her. Nobody cared. Nobody even thought of any of it, or cared enough about me to find out. But she did care. She actually paid attention. She was great. It's good. It's good. It's good you had a friend, Heyune. I'm probably a friend too now that I've been put in the friend zone. But that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Why wouldn't it be fine? Arguing the Emperor. I don't know. My concern over the pale bride condition has grown lately. She has seemed to grow even quieter, if such a thing is possible for a mute girl. Well, perhaps she is mute in an assumption too far on my part. I tried asking her directly, but she seemed... sorry about that. She seemed... I tried asking her directly, but she seemed too scared to answer. That simply makes me more suspicious, and I should like to know why. I addressed my husband on the matter, telling him that I wished to speak to the woman of the Kim family house, to see if I could find out what is wrong. He shrugged me off, saying, don't. They're valuable subjects. The son is someone I have my eye on, in particular. The politics of the situation are far too delicate for you to be meddling with. Holy cow, husband, you're being real nice. Jesus. I cleared my throat. He might be both my husband and my emperor, but I would not let him stop me from being bold. My dear husband, I don't care, I said flatly. I am worried about the girl, and I believe that talking to her mother might shed some light on the matter. The son is of no concern to me. It doesn't matter why it matters. She's the perfect woman. Why are you jealous? He said, rolling his eyes at me, a gesture that he's only been able to use on me, and his servants, of course. Ever since becoming emperor, nobody had the patience for it when he was a child. I don't have it now either. In Ho, dearest, do you believe that the well-being of your wife is a political matter, or even an external matter? I asked. He didn't. So you would say that it's a domestic matter? I asked. He reluctantly agreed. Then as a domestic matter, it is the responsibility of the woman of the house, is it not? Please tell me. You are obviously more well-read in the classics than I said, both of us knowing he wasn't. Fine, he said. But just because it is your responsibility, does this not mean that I can't overrule you? He left silent to follow up. I don't have to take this from you. You do know that my concerns are valid, though, I replied. If you value my opinion, then you will let me speak to the king mother. There was a pause, and he raised his hand in annoyance. Very well, do it. It's a woman's business. I don't want a part in it regardless. Then he shook his head. Why must all of our conversations be arguments? I smiled to him and left. He already knows the answer. Women's work, women's business is... The people in here are just so sexist. It's incredible. It really is. I never knew about that when we were alive. Like most things, I only found out when I took over the ship's computer. It just amazes me even more. Look at her. She's a woman who actually stood up to the man and won. She wasn't clumsy like I was. She knew how to work it from her position. Work it. Yeah, just to work it. Yeah. Isn't that so amazing? It is. It's pretty amazing. Because apparently all the women here have no rights at all, but she was able to. Why did she have to die? What? Why did who have to die? Why did who have to die? Dear diary, you always forget how terrible it is to cry yourself to sleep until it happens. Oh God, what happened? It's just the ultimate feeling of helplessness, but what's new there? Just, right? I just miss her, even if she scared me. I miss her so damn much. Jiehua, oh God, Jiehua died. Was the only one who was sympathetic to me. Why did she have to die? How did she die? Damn it, I have to know. How did she die? Is that the fate of everything that makes whatever short life that I have left bearable must go? Fate just hates me, I've decided. I don't know what killed her. I overheard one of the servants saying that the doctor claimed it was too much worry causing the excess of wood in the spleen. How the hell does wood get in the spleen? Unless someone staked her in the spleen with like a giant wooden stake. Oh God, I don't know. Which he claimed to be a common in oversensitive women. Okay, well, Joewa seemed very tough in my opinion. She was able to stick up to the emperor, and in all honesty, seemed pretty healthy. See how a stake to the spleen could have killed her at all. I was baffled by the absurdity at the time. I still am now. My only friend is dead, and her diagnostics are absolutely insane. What did you even say to something like that? Yeah, I know, if you find wooden spleen. Oh, it seems the spleen should have accessed some sort of wood. No shit, she was staked in the stomach, no doubt. There's a hole there, then that'd probably be the answer. Jesus. Alright, let's keep going. But in light of that, it doesn't surprise me that nobody ever believed I was sick. With medicine, that's stupid. Why would they? Yeah, I have to agree on that. All it does is reinforce how helpless everything is. My God. I just constantly wonder, why did my father, or my own doctor, think that people would be smarter in the future? That medicine would be better, I don't know, you know, evolution?